Subscribe to Happen Today to get more news every day. Here is 11 facts about the Doomsday Plane. Fact number 1. The E-4B Nightwatch is allegedly a far more capable aircraft than Air Force One. You can think of the Doomsday Plane as a heavily upgraded version of Air Force One. That is because it's not just a regular jetliner. It is a military command center that can fly and is strategically focused. To this end, the E-4B is a very capable military plane effectively wearing the guise of a civilian aircraft. The enormous multi-million-dollar planes are thought to be immune to most forms of radiation, can weigh up to 800,000 pounds, and have 3 decks or floors. They are also swift for their size, with a purported top speed of 602 miles per hour. Fact number 2. Each E-4B is equipped with an electrical system that can accommodate sophisticated electronics and a range of communications tools, and is shielded from electromagnetic pulses effects. Senior executives can communicate globally via the Airborne Operations Center thanks to an innovative satellite communications technology, shielding against thermal and radioactive impacts, acoustic management, a better technical control facility, and an improved air conditioning system for cooling electrical components or some other enhancements. To maintain this suite of sophisticated gubbins, you also need a qualified group of it. Analysts. Fact number 3. Allegedly, the expense of operating a Nightwatch is sky high, with costs of around $160,000 per hour when in flight. This includes all the usual costs, like fuel, etc., and the very hefty human resource costs. The President, Joint Chiefs of Staff, and Defense Secretary would board an E-4B and depart during a catastrophic occurrence at a top-secret location, since it takes a large team to operate the aircraft and ensure the safety of the presidential party. They would be accompanied by a 112-person crew if and whenever used for real. Fact number 4. Just like Battlestar Galactica, the Doomsday Plane is hack-proof thanks to its use of analog equipment. Traditional analog flying instruments, which the E-4B has installed, are less vulnerable to harm from an electromagnetic pulse bombardment. Additionally, hackers have a much harder time breaking into antiquated communication systems and apparatus since they are not connected to the internet. This is a very good thing, as the Doomsday Plane, also referred to as the National Airborne Operations Center, is specifically built to communicate with anybody on any device from anywhere in the world. Such an aircraft must be reliable and is safe from disruption as far as reasonably practicable. Fact number 5. One of them is always available 24/7, 365 days a year. Since catastrophe can never be predicted, a Doomsday Plane is always on standby. Not only that, but allegedly, while traveling abroad, the President is always accompanied by or in close proximity to a Doomsday Plane at all times, at one of the many selected bases around the world. A watch crew is stationed on the cot or on alert E-4B 24 hours a day to monitor all communications systems, while it waits for a launch order. The crew members who aren't on duty will be in the alert barracks or another base area. President Clinton ordered the aircraft to stay at Offutt unless needed, ending the 24-hour alert posture at Andrews Air Force Base. However, relief crews are still stationed at Andrews and Wright-Patterson Air Force bases. Fact number 6. Apparently, the Doomsday Plane was actually in use during 9/11. While it has not been confirmed nor denied, allegedly, an aircraft resembling an E-4B may have flown over the White House on September 11, 2001, the day of the terrorist attacks in New York City. News organizations and civilian bystanders widely reported this at the time. Whether or not this really was a Doomsday Plane or not has not, and probably never will, be officially disclosed. Fact number 7. No one is allowed to discuss it. Technically speaking, the Doomsday Plane's existence is not a top secret. However, the United States Air Force keeps a thick shroud of secrecy around these aircraft and has refused to talk about them with the public or the media in any real detail. The Doomsday Plane, that is always stationed in Nebraska, is the only one that has been publicly acknowledged and to which press have been given access. Fact number 8. It's possible to refuel in midair. The soaring giant can hover for days on end without needing to land. In times of conflict, the crew can refuel the plane while it is in the air. In the event that a successful landing is too risky, the aircraft also contains an emergency communication system. Its ability to stay in the air for a long time with aerial refueling in flight is only constrained by the engine's oil consumption. The aircraft was initially planned to be able to stay in the air for an entire week in case of an emergency, but during a test flight for endurance, it stayed airborne and utterly functional for 35.4 hours. To fully refuel an E-4B, 2 KC-135 tankers must be fully loaded. Fact number 9. They were planned to be retired in 2009, but this never happened. Donald Rumsfeld, a former United States Secretary of Defense, predicted that all 4 E-4Bs would retire by 2009. However, just one did so in 2007. Because the planes have such unique capabilities, according to Robert Gates, the new Secretary of Defense, the retired plane was then later brought back into service. 2 of the planes were damaged by a tornado in June 2017, and it is said that a plan exists to replace them with even more powerful variants. Fact number 10. Apparently, they have a very retro aesthetic inside. Each Doomsday Plane interior has vintage overhead bins that have been modified from the original designs. The inside of the airplane is functional rather than showy, according to journalist David Rennie of The Economist, who visited it in 2017. It has a distinctly retro, late Cold War feel, from the Secretary's padded leather swivel seats, which would not shame a Bond villain, to the military-issue urinals bolted on the walls of the bathrooms, Rennie described. Others have described a spiral staircase with a chandelier at the top leading to the cockpit. Fact number 11. It is a reincarnation of a 1960s operation. Operation Looking Glass was the code name for a mission that started in 1961. Its goal was to build a secret airborne command center to send out American missiles when war broke out. The Looking Glass planes were later grounded in 1992, but the new flying war rooms in the Doomsday Plane fleet can still do the mission's primary job. The national interest claims that maintain the communication link between the National Command Authority and U.S. nuclear forces, even if ground-based command centers are destroyed, and that post-apocalyptic fanatics is your lot for today. At least one Doomsday Plane is always on alert and ready to respond in the event of a national catastrophic event. Its crew can get them airborne within minutes, ready to take the fight back to the enemy.